I used to think that aging was just about the body getting slower, a bit of joint pain, some forgetfulness, more naps, fewer plans. I thought that was normal, that it was something to accept. But then I met someone who shattered that belief. His name was Walter. At 93, he still drove himself to market, volunteered at the community garden, and could recite poetry from memory like a man half his age. No walkers, no pills scattered on the kitchen counter. Just a quiet strength, the kind that made you sit up straighter in your chair. When I asked him his secret, he didn't mention genetics or supplements or luck. He just smiled and said, "It's how I start my mornings." That conversation changed everything. And today, I want to share with you what he shared with me. 7 simple morning habits that helped him not only live past 90, but do it with clarity, strength, and joy. Habit 1. Drink water as soon as you wake up. At 70, I thought I was doing all the right things. I walked every morning, kept my cholesterol in check, and even logged my blood pressure in a little notebook like clockwork. But I still felt tired, foggy, like my body was dragging me through the day instead of supporting me. And then one day, a test came back, kidney function down, blood pressure up. "You're heading toward dialysis if this continues," my doctor warned. I was stunned. I hadn't changed anything. But that was the problem. I hadn't changed. Then I stumbled across an article that asked one question: what's the first thing you put into your body every morning? For me, the answer was easy: coffee. But for people who lived well into their 90s, it was water. You see, while we sleep, our bodies become dehydrated. Our blood thickens. Our organs strain. And the longer we wait to rehydrate, the more pressure we place on our heart and kidneys every single morning. So I tried it. That night, I placed a glass of water on my nightstand. And the next morning, before my feet even touched the floor, I drank the entire glass. No coffee, no breakfast, just water, room temperature, simple, pure. It didn't feel like much at first. But by the end of the week, I was waking up more alert. My chest no longer thudded in the mornings. My bathroom visits normalized. 2 months later, my kidney numbers improved by nearly 25%. My doctor raised his eyebrows. "Did we change your meds?" I smiled and said, "Nope, just water." Now, every night before bed, I pour that glass like a ritual, because it's not just a drink. It's a reset button for my entire body. If you do nothing else tomorrow, do this. Hydrate before you move, before you eat, before you scroll. Your body has waited 8 hours to be nourished. Don't make it wait any longer. Habit 2. Get natural light for 30 minutes after wakening up. For decades, I started my mornings the same way. Coffee in one hand, remote in the other, curtains drawn, kitchen lights on. It felt cozy, familiar, but that quiet routine was doing something I never realized. It was messing with my brain, my hormones, my sleep. And worst of all, it was aging me faster than I knew. Then I learned something simple, almost too simple. Your body needs sunlight within 30 minutes of waking to function properly. Why? Because light is not just light. It's a signal, a switch. When sunlight hits your eyes, even through clouds, it tells your brain, wake up, regulate your hormones, set your internal clock. It boosts serotonin, helps you produce melatonin later, improves mood, stabilizes blood sugar, even sharpens memory. Without it, your body stays confused, groggy, out of sync. So I started stepping outside with my coffee. Just 10 minutes. Sometimes I'd sit on the porch. Sometimes I'd walk to the mailbox slowly and breathe in the air. And you know what happened? My sleep improved. Not just quantity, but quality. I stopped waking up 5 times a night. My energy returned. That afternoon slump that hit like a brick wall, gone. Even my blood pressure dropped a few points. And more than that, I felt present, alive. There's something grounding about being outside in the morning, before the world gets loud, before the to-do lists start chasing you. Even on gray days, the light outdoors is 50 to 100 times more powerful than anything indoors. Even through a window, it helps. But outside, It's medicine. Now, morning light is part of my healing, part of my routine. Not optional, not extra, essential. So tomorrow, open the curtains. Step outside. Let the sun greet you, even if it hides behind clouds. Because that light doesn't just brighten the world, it brightens you. Habit 3. Light exercise before breakfast. For a long time, I thought my knees were just getting old. Every morning, I'd swing my legs off the bed and sit there, waiting. Not because I needed time, but because I needed courage. Those first few steps hurt. My joints felt like rusted hinges. And I told myself, well, that's just part of aging. Until Monica, my physical therapist, challenged that idea. She looked at me one day and asked, "What do you do before breakfast?" I said, "Try not to fall down." She smiled, then said something I'll never forget. "You don't need more rest. You need more movement before you eat." She taught me a simple routine. 5 minutes. No equipment. No sweat. Just gentle motion. Rotate your ankles. Swing your arms. Circle your shoulders. Sway your hips. Nothing fancy. Just movement with breath. I started doing it right after my water and morning light. And slowly, something changed. The pain didn't vanish overnight, but it softened. My joints warmed up. I stood taller. My balance improved. And after a few weeks, I noticed I wasn't gripping the railing so tightly when walking down the stairs. Then came the biggest surprise. I canceled the schedule knee replacement. My doctor couldn't believe it. "What did you change?" I said, "I started greeting my joints before I greeted the fridge." Science now backs this up. Morning movement activates autophagy, your body's internal cleanup crew. It reduces inflammation, protects cartilage, and even boosts brain clarity. So here's what I do. Before breakfast, I stand up, stretch slowly, and move every joint like I'm saying good morning to each one. It takes 5 to 7 minutes. But those minutes, they've given me years of movement back. Try it tomorrow. Don't wait until your body hurts to move. Move so it won't. Habit 4 to 30-second breathing. Technique 4, 7, 8. For most of my life, I never paid attention to how I breathed. Why would I? Breathing just happened. It was background noise. Inhale, exhale, repeat, until I realized one morning, after waking from a restless sleep, that I'd been holding my breath without even noticing. My chest was tight, my jaw clenched. I wasn't stressed by anything in particular, yet I felt like I couldn't take a full breath. That's when I learned about the 4, 7, 8 breathing technique. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 7. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 8. Do it 3 or 4 times. That's it. It sounded simple. Too simple. But the science behind it is powerful. This technique activates the vagus nerve, telling your body it's safe. It lowers cortisol, improves heart rate variability, and resets your nervous system after sleep. So I tried it. One morning, after hydrating and before eating, I sat on my porch, closed my eyes, and breathed. For seconds in. 7 seconds held. 8 seconds out. Like the slow exhale of a long-held sigh. And in that moment, I felt my body let go. The tension left my shoulders. My mind got quieter. And I felt a kind of calm I hadn't felt in years. One that lasted through the afternoon. Now I do it every morning. Rain or shine. It takes 30 seconds. No gym, no gear, just lungs and presence. If you start your days with tension, give this to yourself. Not later. Not when things calm down. Breathe now so the rest of the day can flow. Habit 5. Breakfast rich in protein and fiber. Growing up, my breakfast was always the same. Toast and coffee. Maybe a banana on good days. It was fast, familiar, and frankly, pretty empty. By the time I turned 68, my doctor told me I was pre-diabetic. It's not just what you eat, he said. It's when you eat it and how your body reacts to it. I didn't want to take pills. I wanted to fix it myself. So I looked into what centenarians eat for breakfast. The answer? Protein and fiber. Not sugar, not white bread, not pastries or processed cereal. Just simple, whole ingredients that stabilize blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and support long-term energy. So I made the switch. I traded my toast for scrambled eggs. I swapped coffee for a smoothie with chia seeds, oats, and berries. I added a few almonds on the side. At first, it felt like work. But by the end of week 2, I felt the difference. No mid-morning crash, no brain fog, and more surprisingly, no hunger by 10 a.m. After 3 months, my blood sugar stabilized. My doctor didn't believe the lab results. "Are you sure you're not on something?" I laughed. "Yeah, breakfast." Now every morning, I choose food that supports my future. Your first meal sets the tone for your hormones, your inflammation, even your energy. Don't waste it on things that only comfort your taste buds and sabotage the rest of you. Try it tomorrow. 2 eggs or Greek yogurt, oats or berries, a handful of nuts or seeds. Skip the sugar. Skip the white stuff. Your body deserves better. Because breakfast isn't just a meal, it's a message. And what you say to your body in that message matters. Habit 6, morning social connections. After my wife passed, mornings changed. They became quieter, too quiet. I'd wake up, make my coffee, and sit in the same kitchen we used to share, hearing nothing but the hum of the refrigerator and the ticking of a clock. I wasn't alone, not exactly, but I wasn't connected either. And that lack of connection began to wear on me. At first, I didn't notice, but the days started to blur together. I found myself speaking less, even to the cashier at the market. I stopped calling friends. I thought, what's the point? Then one day, I walked to the corner cafe, just to get out of the house. The barista smiled. "Morning, friend. Good to see you." It hit me harder than I expected. That one sentence made me feel seen. I went back the next day, and the next. A few weeks later, I had a little group. 4 of us, all regulars. We didn't talk about anything deep. We talked about baseball, the weather, grandkids, old movies. But it was real. It was connection. And it changed everything. Turns out, studies have confirmed what I felt. Morning social connection lowers inflammation, improves immune response, and reduces risk of heart disease and depression. The timing matters. When connection happens early in the day, it sets a positive hormonal tone that echoes through your entire body. If you live with someone, talk to them. Really talk to them. In the morning, if you live alone, reach out. A text, a voice message, even a wave to your neighbor. It doesn't have to be long. It just has to be real. Because your body wasn't made for isolation. It was made to feel part of something. And when you feel connected, your cells feel it too. Habit 7, practice gratitude. For most of my life, I thought gratitude was something reserved for Thanksgiving, or maybe said before dinner in a polite, habitual way. But after all the years, the loss, the victories, and the quiet mornings, I've come to believe something else. Gratitude is a decision, and it's also a medicine. It began with a question I read online. Have you thanked your body today for keeping you alive? It stopped me cold. I had spent decades criticizing my body, the wrinkles, the stiffness, the pounds, the forgetfulness. But I never stopped to say, thank you. So the next morning, I tried something different. I placed my hand over my chest, took a deep breath, and said out loud, I'm grateful for my legs which still carry me. I'm grateful for my eyes which still see the sky. I'm grateful for my heart, which is beating for me every day without asking for anything in return. 2 minutes, that's all it took. But something inside me shifted. I felt more grounded, more peaceful, more aware of what I still had, not what I'd lost. And over the next few weeks, my blood pressure improved. My sleep deepened. I felt more content, not because my circumstances changed, but because my perspective did. Neuroscience backs this up. Studies show that morning gratitude, especially when directed toward your body, activates healing pathways, reduces cortisol, and strengthens the parts of the brain tied to emotional regulation and resilience. It costs nothing, requires no equipment, just you, your voice, and your willingness to see the good. So tomorrow morning, after you breathe, after you move, after you sit with your coffee, place your hand over your chest. Thank your body. Be specific. Be sincere. Because this body, it's been there for you through everything. And it deserves your love, not just your complaints. A message from someone who lived longer than you think. So there they are, 7 small habits that help me reclaim my mornings, and maybe even extend my life. A glass of water to wake up my organs, the light of the sun to reset my rhythm, a few minutes of motion to soften my joints, deep breaths to calm my mind, a real breakfast to feed my future, a voice, a wave, a smile to remind me I belong, and a moment of gratitude to remind me I'm still here and still thankful. These aren't magic pills. They're not new. They're ancient, simple, and real. You don't need to do them all at once. Start with one, then another. Let them layer gently into your routine, because your morning is the foundation of your day, and your days are your life. You can choose to start rushed, depleted, and disconnected, or you can choose to rise with intention, nourishment, and grace. The people who live the longest aren't the luckiest. They're the most consistent. So, tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, don't rush, don't scroll, don't reach for caffeine and chaos. Instead, drink, breathe, stretch, step into the light, say something kind, eat something real, and whisper quietly, thank you. Because a long life doesn't come all at once. Thanks for watching. Please comment with the number 1 key to let us know you watched the whole video. We are very grateful for this. Subscribe to the channel and remember to turn on the notification bell to see other useful content. See you in the next video.